All right, we're going to start off with your slice. The main thing we're going to focus on is the basic framework of the stroke, which is the word I like to use to just basically mean where do you start, how do you make contact, and where do you finish. Those three basic things. If the framework isn't solid, then we can work all day long on more spin or more power or more depth or better accuracy or whatever, and you're always going to have a very limited ceiling to which you can ascend as far as your level of play is concerned, because it will have fundamental issues that are keeping you from getting the best results. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So we're going to use this clip of Roger here as our kind of our baseline, and I've shot this basically directly facing Roger, and we're going to look at those three positions that I just mentioned: take back, contact point, and finish. So take back, we're able to see some of his back. He's got a strong turn here. The racket is starting well up above where he's going to make contact, up above shoulder height. And from there, he comes down to contact, and his shoulders lead this, which is important. We can't see any of his back now at contact because he's started to unwind to the ball. At contact, if we're looking from side on, his racket would be very close to perpendicular to the court surface. It's open probably a couple of degrees, but not as much as most players assume a slice is to make backspin. It's just a couple of degrees open here. The main thing that creates backspin is this downward motion from take back to contact. That's really ultimately what's creating.
It's the opposite of topspin.
Exactly. Yep. Now, from here is the point, the part that is of particular interest to me as it relates to your development. From contact on, what Roger does is he allows that momentum of the racket to continue up until he gets to extension with his arm. And then from there, his racket comes back up again to almost about shoulder height. So he allows the racket to come down through the point of contact, but then it comes back up again. And so there's kind of a smooth U shape, and this allows him to smoothly decelerate the racket, which is much easier on the body. It's also much less jarring. It's easier to control the swing when there's a calm, relaxed release of his body. And the last thing I want you to notice is how his body actually turns and opens to face towards me. It's not necessary for every slice. Depends on the situation. Obviously, he's in great balance here. He's not being pressured at all. And so he's just calmly allowing his body to open back up towards his target. This is just a really calm, rally ball kind of shot.
I see that. Intellectually, I see that. Execution, another story.
And that's why you're here. Yeah, it's not to put more information in your brain. It's to learn how to actually move your body. Last thing I want to point out here is I want you to check out the angle of his racket face. It's facing upwards. At contact, his racket was close to flat, slightly open. And on his take back, you'll notice that here his racket's open also. And so he's transitioned from open to pretty close to square to back open again.
Okay. Yeah.
You have two different styles of slice that occur most commonly. One is closer to what we just saw from Roger, and the other one is choked off substantially. There's not the length of swing, there's not the range of motion. So, So far, so good. Open racket face, high above contact. You've turned your body adequately. A little more would be nice, but you're at 90 degrees to the baseline. So down to contact, you're just slightly open with the racket face, that's good. You've started to open up your body a little bit, that's good. The main difference between you and Roger is here. Look at your racket face.
Flipping it the wrong way.
Exactly, yeah. You've actually supinated, you've rotated your forearm the opposite direction, whereas Roger was going down to contact and then releasing kind of on that same plane of motion. You've actually twisted the opposite direction.
Almost like a follow through, yeah, okay.
Yeah, similar feel to how a drive or topspin kind of follow through would be. You actually tend to twist the opposite direction on your slice as well. And you are coming back up, but you're twisting and turning the racket face the opposite direction of what a slice actually should be. The actual contracting of the muscle starts before the racket starts to turn, and so I think it probably is affecting contact frequently. It's a jarring and jerking and counterintuitive movement, and so we're gonna get rid of that.
I never thought of just leaving it flat out like that. I mean, No.
So, so this is flavor number one. Flavor number two is the next one. You're under a little more duress here, and that's when it usually comes out. You're having to reach for this one a little bit.
It was low. See, that was what? Yep.
And so the second flavor is just hard deceleration, like right after contact. If I keep going, like we'll keep seeing those two basic varieties of slice. So here's the twisting, turning, closing the racket face variety. The twisting, turning, maybe a little bit of a hybrid, pretty abrupt stop there. Very abrupt stop there. The racket has no raise or lift to it. And that, to me, what that really indicates is just all arm dominance motion. I mean, that's a really common way for players to start trying to hit a slice, is they assume, okay, it's all downward motion, and so everything kind of stops and finishes down there. And so there's no flow to it, the body's not really very active, and it ends up being all arm and kind of shoulder hacking down. If you watch in full motion, you see how there's a very abrupt change of direction there, change of momentum. It's almost kind of a fake follow through. Like this was the hit, and then you're like, oh right, but I got to finish up here. And so in the back of your mind, you know there's supposed to be this U shape to it, and so you're trying to make it happen, even if it's a manufactured movement. So we're going to make it a natural movement. So first things first, we're going to start off just simply hitting those three positions that we saw Roger. So position one was an initial setup with the racket up above your left shoulder. Yep. I like how you're a little more turned than perpendicular now, which is great. So from that side, I could see your back a little bit. That's good. Position two was turning the chest and going down to contact.
I'm going to probably go like that.
Yep. And we'll want this to be a little more closed than that in reality. Okay. You have frequently cited that it matches your slice tends to sail.
Oh yeah.
And it's due to this.
Yeah.
100%.
It has to be. What else could it be?
Yeah. Physics. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
and sometimes that's necessary in a match, like you said, if you get pulled out wide and you want to float a little bit of a higher slice. But if you want to drive one, closing the racket face is really what changes the trajectory of the shot.
Okay, so let's go from position one to position two a couple of times. So turn, and then down, and I want you to really be aware of that racket face for me.
So like almost like
yes,
that.
yes, very close to flat. So one, and show me contact, and now we're going to go from contact to finish position. Just kind of picture Roger in your mind. I'd love for you to open your body a little bit more as you go through to that contact, to that finish position. Yep. At the very least, I'd love your chest to be facing towards the net post.
So just continue that upper body rotation as you swing. Now continue to rotate. There you go.
Yeah.
It's a little awkward at first.
I know. I said that. I'm sure thousands of times we're gonna say, "Oh, that feels really wrong. It must be right." Right?
You're 100% correct. Yes.
And I said I was open there too much. It's hard to do this. Actually, so.
It's something new.
Yeah.
So for the time being, John, I'd like you to take a pit stop at each of the three positions. And I want you to visually check it and physically, kinesthetically feel. Here's the repetition that you just did. Nice job.
Good night, everybody.
So this is what we want to see with the ball there. Maybe a little bit short on the finish. I'd love to see your hand come back up to about shoulder height.
That hand.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
The swing hand.
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
But this is a great start. We're looking for that U shape with the racket path and controlling the angle of the strings so that at contact, they're close to square, and then on the follow through, they're open. That's great. Good, John. All right, now we're going to do a sequence of 3 repetitions. Your first 2 will be smooth, relaxed shadow swings, and your goal is to just make them fluid and continuous and relaxed. And then after your second shadow swing, I'm just going to toss the ball to you. It's going to bounce, and your goal is to execute the exact same mechanics, but with the ball there. Does that make sense? So go ahead. 2 slow, smooth shadow swings. Nice. One more, just like that. And when I toss the ball, I want you to do the same thing.
Well, I got to speed it up, obviously.
No, you don't have to. And this is really important for all of the rest of today and tomorrow. Let's take a look at that. Actually, Ira, when we ask you to execute something, I want you to do that kind of in a vacuum. You're not concerned about where the ball goes at all. So let's see how you did. Our goal is to make all 3 executions the same. Nice job.
That's decent.
Yeah. Good fluidity, good smoothness.
Good job here.
Coming back up again, good racket face on the finish.
And wrap it.
Pretty good. You
Better
kind
than I thought.
But yeah, it was pretty good. You kind of pulled your arm out across your body here.
And like halfway turned a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can see the hitting surface is facing like that way.
Yep.
Instead of down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so your strings are here, whereas your last shadow swing, they were
Here.
there.
Got it.
That may be like the ball in play and fighting all,
Yeah,
that old
that's-
tendency.
Yeah. So go ahead. Same execution with the ball. Wait. How was your execution? Remember, it doesn't matter where the ball goes, but how did you?
I was up. I think it was okay. I mean, it was not terrible, but we'll see the video.
This is a critical juncture, John.
Yeah, no, good.
Good initial take back.
Yeah, racket face is good.
Yeah, just, I mean, off center hit, that doesn't matter. Racket face is a little open.
Wasn't watching. Came back out. Yeah, look at that. Yep.
Look.
So
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
this is 180 degrees from where you thought you were.
Right.
And so this is critical. This is like when I said this is all about training. Changes don't happen without awareness of what's actually happening. And so you thought you were once your strings were facing one way, but they were actually the opposite. And so the video is critical to be able to check and know for sure. When it comes to making changes, it's all about managing this process right here. All right, I'd like you to go to just a single shadow swing now, and then I'll drop the ball to you.
I think I was open.
Yes,
like that.
yes. That is exactly where you were. Really nice. Your awareness has already increased quite a lot. Good. Nice job. Ready?
Nice.
Nice, John.
Yeah, come take a look at this. Shadow swing.
That's actually pretty good there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
Now watch the finish.
Yeah, and I can open.
Yeah, good.
I keep doing that.
Yeah. I kind of always thought of it as in throwing my racket face is I take my racket face and I go like down the stairs and then I go through the hallway.
Yeah. Okay.
So that kind of like gets me going a little bit more down and then out.
Really nice. Awesome. It's looking good. No man's land?
Sure.
Good. 2 more? One more?
There's your finish of your racket there. Middle here. So you can see there's that U shape coming
Right.
down
Yep.
and up. So that's what we're looking for.
Even though you're further away, I don't want you to try any harder. The smoothness is really important, so I want you to remain calm and relaxed and just flow through that movement. It's okay. Good swing.
Good.
2 shadows. Nice job. Nice job. Excellent, John.
Good. Let's take a look at those.
More jash, but
I think what you're seeing there is you're starting to kind of pull across your body a little bit. So yeah, if you turn a little bit past perpendicular, then you have some rotational space with your body or room to be able to pull the racket towards contact without coming across your body. And you can go more out towards your target instead of across to the side. Anyway, the overall frame, I used the word framework before. Our general framework now is, like I said, for sure in the ballpark. We just need to make a couple of tweaks. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of movement now.
Okay.
So you'll start in the middle, do a couple of shadow swings, and now my feeds are gonna be, probably take you to about out to the corner. They'll give you plenty of time. And we just want to see you execute this within the context of, movement back and forth. Smooth it out, smooth it out. Calm and relaxed. Good job, good job. Good job, good job. As you become comfortable with it, it's going to be very easy for you to create depth. This just guides the ball up and out so much easier than what you were doing before. Yeah. The ball always wants to follow where the racket's facing. So as long as your tendency is to twist and turn and close, you're going to have a hard time creating depth on the shot. Calm. Good. Nice job, nice job, nice job.
Let's take a look at those last three. What are your thoughts?
Better. Less J, more horizontal. That's vertical, but
a little bit more of a drive.
Like I followed through it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just got to keep that arm down.
Nice job, nice job.
Yeah. These were the last three.
That's so key. God, it's such a little thing.
It's pretty big, actually.
No, well, I know, but no, it's giganto.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a transformational sucker from, terrible to decent.
Yeah, those were good slices on the last three.